So if I'm not leaning far enough, so if I'm almost like parallel to it, to get it moving, I almost gotta like lean in again to kind of get it going. If I'm leaning too far, like down here, you can see my shoulders are already into the movement. So I'm feeling a stretch in my shoulder and not my chest, which I've mentioned in other exercises. So get into the movement. You are gonna lean in a bit, but you want that stretch in the chest. That's where you feel it. First rep, you're in the proper position. You're priming or presetting your body. So again, like I mentioned, you're coming pinkies together. Come back to that stretch in the chest, pinkies together. You can do a slight rock in and out, but again, it's that sternum up as you're rocking away from the weight, pinkies together, getting that full flexion. A good little analogy is when you're coming together, especially if you're coming from the up down, pretty much all of them. A good analogy I've used with a client before is that if you have kids, you always pick them up under the shoulder. So if you're coming down underneath a kid's shoulders and you're picking them up. It's the same analogy. So if you're here, coming down, you're picking them up. If you're here, you're scooping the shoulders, picking them up. If you're here, coming underneath the shoulders, picking them up. It's always pinkies together. So you're scooping the kid underneath the shoulder and you're lifting the kid off the floor. So I'm a parent, so that's something I do on a regular basis, not anymore, but when I was in my bodybuilding career, that's something I did every day. See my kid, bend over, scoop him up. So on a chest day, it kind of clicked with me. This feels a lot like a fly. So I used it in a session with a client, and it clicked right away. She knew exactly what I was saying, and form was perfect from then on out. So think about that the next time you're doing a fly. Is you're picking a kid up, scooping them, pinkies come together. Try that the next time. Common mistakes. Leaning in too far is one where your shoulders are so far back, you almost have to throw your shoulder into it to kind of get it moving. And then another one is not leaning in far enough. So again, getting that shoulder to kind of compensate. You can do a lunge, and that's more so just like more of an athletic stance. You can put them together, whatever is more stable for you. So that's more of like a preference for the person. So me, I like doing everything kind of together where I can kind of lean in and all the emphasis is up here. If you're putting this in, you kind of have that athletic stance, and it's more so giving you that ability to use your legs into the movement. The way I was doing it, I was taking my legs out. So I was leaning in, both feet together, I'm leaning into the weight, so it's all on my chest. So it does the lunge or the athletic stance position, gives you that ability to use your legs into the movement. Doing it like I was showing you and putting your feet together behind you takes that away. So makes it a little bit more hard for the chest to do it. Like there is no assistance from the rest of your body. You're not using your core to kind of bring that up and in, giving you that kind of oomph at the start of the rep. So that's the kind of differences and the mistakes that you'll see a lot of people do. Biggest thing is it's a finishing exercise, so feel the stretch, feel the squeeze. If you're feeling it somewhere else, that means your angle is something is off. So there is no priming. It's not 45 degree, it's not fucking 90 degree, it's not 65 degree. It's you lean in until you feel a stretch in the chest. That is it. That is the prime angle. You come across and you're bringing your pinkies together. A lot of people you see do it at an upper level. You can also do it at the lower as well, and or medium height. So upper, you're more so doing a downward angle. So you're more so essentially almost hitting that kind of like decline. You're coming up, downward. So the technique is a little different on each level, but essentially you're still doing that pinky at the end of the movement. You're coming up, feeling the stretch, driving that pinky. From the middle, same thing. You're leaning in, feeling the stretch, pinkies coming together. At the bottom, you're leaning in, it's more of like the upper part of the chest. Coming up, pinkies coming together. Every kind of fly, it's always stretch, pinky to the close. So it just overemphasizes the flex of the chest. Angles you're gonna hit does differentiate on where it's going to hit the chest. Like downward, you're going to hit more of the kind of the outer pec or the meat of the pec. Middle, obviously you're hitting the middle, kind of like a pec deck fly. Down up, you're more so hitting the upper or inner pec, but you're also going to incorporate that front delt as well.